All righty. Well, thanks for having me here, and everybody that's attending today. Thank you for coming, and I also congratulate you. It's good that you are looking to improve yourself as a trader and seeking education. So kudos for that. And let's go ahead and get started. Hello, and welcome to Getting Unstuck. This is clearing the misconceptions and inaccurate beliefs that hold you back, so you can finally start making the money that you want. It's brought to you by Brian McAboy of Inside Out Trading. That would be me. And all right, just getting everything working right here. I'm glad you're here. I really am. Until you get the mental part of trading right, it will just never be the experience that you want it to be. And you're about to gain some critical insights that truly make the difference between failing as a trader and having it provide you the enjoyment, freedom of time, and financial prosperity that you desire. Now, during our short time together, I'm going to share with you as much usable, actionable, and worthwhile information as I can. My intention is to give you a different way to look at your trading that is sensible, realistic, and works, and has been very helpful for many others. Now, this is definitely going to be worth your while. If you want my help with your trading beyond this webinar, I'll share with you how to do that at the end. But even if you choose to go it alone, your time here, again, will still be very much worth your while. Because of what you learn, you'll be in a much better position an hour from now to succeed than you have been up until now. Now, today is not just another day. Today really is the day everything changes for you. Now, I know that sounds like a big claim, but as the saying from Wayne Dyer goes, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I'm sure you've experienced this to be true, at certain times in your life. How you see trading in general and how you see your trading and how you see your future are all about to change. Over the next 45 minutes, you're going to experience a shift in perspectives that really will set your life on a new course. And why this matters, I mean, this really is arguably the most important aspect of your trading. I mean, if you're operating on misconceptions or inaccurate beliefs, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table that should be in your account. You're missing out on profits you should have, and you're incurring losses that you should not. I mean, if you think about it, this really is critical to everything else. I mean, because you can have the best computer setup, the best data feed, the best platform system, the best everything. But if you don't see things accurately, if you're not operating properly mentally, then your focus will be on the wrong things, and all the rest of that stuff will be of limited value. Because see, trading really is 99% mental. The only physical requirements are that you can move a mouse and click the button and press some keys on the keyboard. Everything else is taking place in your head. And all these activities are happening on both conscious and subconscious levels. Now, how this affects your tradings? Well, your beliefs and perspectives affect your mental and emotional state when you're trading, and subsequently your entire experience. Both directly and indirectly, they determine your ability to make money, to keep it when you do make it, and avoid losing it in the first place. Now, a key insight from the past, this is one of my favorites, it's from Will Rogers. The problem ain't what we don't know. It's what we think we know that ain't so. And here's why that's so true. When you think you know something, when you hold it as true, your mind closes on the matter and is generally not open to new information. And the problem with that is your beliefs and perspectives determine your thinking, which controls your actions and ultimately your results. So if what you're working with is inaccurate or skewed, then you won't be able to see what you need to do to finally break free from your old patterns. And so many traders stay stuck indefinitely going through the same cycles of try and fail until they give up, personally and financially exhausted. And that's what we're here to fix today. If you've been trading for any length of time, you know how trading works and how your system works, but you're also aware, at least on some level, that you've been missing a critical piece of the puzzle. And that is how to mentally approach your trading properly so that you can achieve the results you want intentionally, comfortably, and consistently, so that you can trade free from doubt, stress, and fear. You see, when you address the misconceptions and take the correct action, your desired future can happen. And today, right now, you're going to discover that you can enjoy trading profitably, consistently, in a relaxed and realistic manner without having to continue switching systems, without having to fight with your emotions, and without having to dredge up and deal with a lifetime of issues on a therapist's couch. That's really cool. Okay, so why should you listen to me? Well, I have years of experience as a trader, and more importantly, as an ASQ certified quality engineer, which means that my training, my strengths and area of expertise are in effective problem solving and getting good, consistent performance from people. That's what quality assurance is all about. I've been helping traders overcome issues for over 13 years, psychological, functional issues, business issues, all sorts of stuff. For over 13 years, I've been working with traders one-on-one in a variety of ways, and there have also been many trading educators and brokers that have sought my help and taken my courses. Now, the other reason that I'm glad you're here, seriously, it just breaks my heart to get an email from somebody saying that they wish they'd found me sooner. That they know that, what I teach would have made a difference for them, but it's too late. They've already blown out their account and now they have to quit. But see, you're here right now, and that's excellent. That's the reason I'm glad you're here, because that tells me that it's not too late for you. Now, what's possible with what you're going to learn here today and my teachings in general, instead of months and years to get to where you want to be, we can get you there in days or weeks, because I use a real world approach. Again, I'm an engineer. I'm a quality engineer. So my focus is on what works. I mean, forget theory, forget talk, claims. It either works or it doesn't. Now, the nice thing about this is when people work with me, they enjoy a freedom from the self-blame and guilt. I mean, I remember my early days of trading before I got my feet on the ground, I got my head wrapped around it. I felt horrible about myself most of the time. I mean, not only did I feel bad about the way my trading was going, but I just kind of felt like a loser. I'd been able to beat almost everything else in my life, and I just couldn't seem to beat this. And I got tired of feeling lost all the time. What you get is you get freedom from that, and you get to leave that old experience in the past. Now, the other nice thing is you get a renewed optimism about your trading. Instead of feeling jaded and wondering if anybody's making money, you actually see, yes, this is how you make it work. And that's very cool. Now, if you've ever wondered, what is it about trading? It seems so simple. Why is it so blooming difficult? Well, then you're in the right place. If you're tired of not knowing how to fix your trading, if you're tired of struggling with the discipline issues. I mean, I've had people come to me, they've been fighting with discipline issues for 5, 8, 10, 12 years, and they still haven't been able to get past it. And, if that's you, hey, you're in the right place. If you know you have a decent system, but you just can't shake that lingering doubt about it, when you go to trade, or if you've had your confidence shaken and you just want it back, well, again, you're definitely in the right place. Now, the fact that you're here, that you sign up for this, that you're attending this right now, what this says about you is, first of all, that you're serious about making your trading a success, and that is very cool. It also says that you're also interested in not just collecting more things, more shiny objects, more systems to collect on your hard drive, but you're interested in and understanding the importance of developing yourself as a trader, which is crucial. The other thing that it says about you, that you're here, is that you've made it this far, that you've actually survived this long. A lot of people don't make it this far, and you have, and so congratulations on it. That is actually a good accomplishment. It also means that you're not a quitter. You're a survivor, and you're going to keep after it until you make it work, and that's excellent. So what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover 5 prevalent misconceptions commonly held by traders, where they came from, and how you've gotten where you are now, and how these inaccurate perspectives affect you and prevent you from moving forward in your trading. And of course, the proper perspectives that will mentally set you free to become profitable the way you desire. Now, I also have an extra reward for you just for being here and sticking around through the end of the presentation. In addition to what you're going to learn, it's called the Trading System Profit Potential Calculator. You'll really like this. It'll tell you to the dollar what the profit potential is for your trading system or any system you want to consider. And it's a really cool tool I made several years ago. It's neat and it's free, and it's my gift for you. Now, another thing that I know about you, just because you're here and because you're a trader, I know you have goals. Of course, you want to make money. Everybody does. But it's never only about the money. People don't want to make money solely for the sake of having money. You've got people in your life that you want to support and provide for, and have a better quality of life, whether it's your spouse, your family, your kids, your grandkids, your church, whatever. You want to do something with your trading that has purpose. You're doing this for more than just you, and I totally admire and appreciate you for that. I mean, just know that up front. I'm doing this because I know there are a lot of good people that get into trading, and I can see you're one of them, but my goal is to help you get to where you want to be with your trading so that you can do the good things that you want to do and avoid the heartache and anguish that are so common in trading. And that's why I'm here, and I really do want to help you make it. Now, understand something. You are really not alone in this. You are not the only one being held back and being plagued by these misconceptions. I mean, what we're about to jump into has affected probably 99% of all traders. So let's start at the beginning of things, because that's where a lot of the problems originated. So somewhere along the way, someone said something to you that got you to believe that it was doable and offered much better possibilities than the other choices of where to invest than you knew of at that time. That it was pretty easy and offered great returns. And again, it was something that you could do. For me, and plenty of people my age, it was Ken Roberts in his book, The Greatest Money Manual. It was about futures trading. For others, it was those funny but ridiculous, E-Trade baby commercials or the direct and indirect message was that it's so easy, even a baby can do it. And you remember these commercials, the Super Bowl commercial? Yeah, they were extremely effective at getting people to start trading. And yeah, is the act of placing trades easy enough that a baby could do it? Well, actually, yes, placing trades is, because babies are fully capable of pushing buttons in a certain sequence, on a phone or an iPad or whatever. Well, but it doesn't mean that they have any clue, what they're doing or how to place intelligent trades on a consistent basis over an extended period of time. Well, regardless of what initiated it, you made the decision at some point to pursue trading because you wanted a better lifestyle, to quit your job and enjoy a comfortable retirement, leave a nice inheritance for your kids. I mean, like I said, there was something that happened where you decided, okay, I want to pursue trading. You want better returns than your other choices. And so you took a not insignificant chunk of your hard-earned money and began this chapter in your life. Now, one thing here, and you probably agree with me on this. In general, brokers suck. They really do. Not every single person in the firms are evil, but on the whole, they really do. They suck. Their whole business is based on getting you in the door and getting you busy trading real money so they can make their commissions. Now, they may put on like they like and care about you, but at the end of the day, they'll do and say what they need to do to get you busy so they can get paid, whether you win or lose. And of course, you'll have certain questions from the broker. The first one is, the big important one for them is, are you trading with money you can afford to lose? But of course, they're never going to ask you. The really important question is, do you know what you're doing? That's the really big one. And again, that's part of why brokers suck. You see, what they're really doing, it's really just totally in their interest and not yours, even though it may appear to be for you. I mean, they're going to offer you tips and guidance, or, the latest market they're watching. They'll set you up with a demo account, $50,000, play money to play with. They'll even give you free time in a trading room for as long as you like. These all have the primary purpose, though, of getting you comfortable enough to start placing trades as quickly as possible. Not really making you into a competent trader. They want to make you an active trader. Not necessarily a good trader or a competent trader. They just want to get you being an active trader because that's how they get paid. It's the nature of their business. I'm not saying they're evil. It's the nature of their business. The dreadful consequences of this, though, is really what happens to nearly all traders is that you get your feet wet, you get to know your way around a little, and as you learn, you see more and more opportunities in the markets. And all too soon, though, your mouth is watering. You're seeing, you got dollar signs in your eyes, and you feel really ready to start making some money. I've heard this from so many people. It's just hilarious, especially when you get thrown into the trading room. It's like 2 weeks, and it's like, I just want to get busy trading. But see, the thing is with the brokers, they're incentivized not to care, really. Like I said, their whole objective is to get you trading. They don't care if you really only if you really only know enough to be dangerous or not. And by the way, those are my 4 favorite words to describe most traders out there, enough to be dangerous, because it really is true. With the brokers, though, again, they don't care. They only get paid when you're funded in trading, so they're more than happy to help you get underway. But then, of course, reality sets in. And it doesn't take long, and you find out that, hey, it's not that easy. And whether you're making money or not, it's an emotional ride, and it's very stressful. And the part of it's fun, it's the thrill. It's again very stressful. You might even question what you're doing, but it doesn't matter because once you started, you're hooked. It really is. It's so mentally addictive. It's ridiculous. And then it begins. Of course, sooner or later you're making mistakes and losing money, hesitating, missing out on profits. Start beating yourself up for not being disciplined and sticking to your system. Well, either that or you just begin to question, your system. But you'll begin that cycle of going back and forth between questioning yourself and questioning your system. And that's just one of the horrible cycles that people get stuck in. You probably have experienced it yourself along the way. Other common experiences, it doesn't take long for you to get to where, you make money for a day or 2 or 3, only to give it all back to the markets, which this cycle just sucks. It is so tremendously disheartening and frustrating. Eventually, and this is one where, you've been at it for a while, but you just kind of lose confidence in the whole thing and you get jaded. And so you're just kind of going through the motions and not really at all expecting to ever get there. But now and then again, you get your hopes up. Maybe you run across a new system, whatever. You get busy, only to be disappointed yet again. Now, eventually, at some point, you reach crossroads. You finally reach the point where you've had a bad enough day or week that you decide it's time for a change. You've tried a number of systems, things still aren't working, your self-esteem is circling the drain, and you just decide, hey, it's time to get some help, or either that or just quit and find something else to pursue. But like I said, you reach that crossroads. And I have a lot of people come to me, when they've reached that point, and they say, Brian, what I need to fix is me. I'm hesitating. I'm staying in trades too long. All this stuff's going on, and what I need to fix is me. Now, here's the thing. In one sense, when you say this to me, you're right. You, as you are now, you're not going to make it, because if you were that trader that you needed to be right now, you wouldn't be having these problems. That in and of itself, yes, as you are right now, you do need to fix something, and something's got to change. But in another perspective, you're very wrong. This is, again, a misperception. As a person, you're okay. It's not that you have discipline issues. It's not that you have personal issues, these deep psychological mommy-daddy issues. Just the fact that you've made it to the point that you're in a position to trade demonstrates that you have what it takes. You're obviously okay enough with money. You're okay enough with discipline. You're okay enough with success that you're in a position to trade. You've already demonstrated these things. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So as a person, you're okay. But as a trader, you're missing something. And deep down underneath it all, you know this. Now, sorry for the noise outside. We've got some loud vehicles going on around today. So if it happens to bleed in, sorry about that. Anyway, the important thing here is, you've really got to focus on the right things. So long as you think it's a personal issue, you're going to focus there, and you're going to miss the real problem, that it's something else. It's you as a trader. Besides, the self-blame and chastising yourself, all that's just very counterproductive, and it's just a horrible cycle. You know what I'm talking about. Now, here's a discovery I made years ago. If you take a person of reasonable intelligence and you throw them into a job for which they are not prepared, it will be stressful, filled with mistakes, and it'll be almost impossible for it not to be an emotional experience. But if you take that same person, you give them proper and complete training for that job, they won't have any psychological issues. They'll just go do their thing, and they'll be fine about it. I'm sure you've experienced this yourself a number of times throughout your life. If you're jumping into something and you really just don't know what you're doing, it's going to be stressful. Your emotions are going to be riding high most of the time, and it's probably not going to be real successful. But those occasions when, yes, you were properly trained and you were properly prepared, you just go do your thing. If anything, if there is any kind of an emotional, rise, it's going to be, eager for the challenge, not nervousness or anxiety or stress. So anyway, this is totally applicable here, and this is really important that you pay attention to this, because this is so true for traders. Again, I've even gotten into arguments with several trading psychologists about it, some of whom I know their names. I've been on the phone with them. They're going to sit there and say, oh no, you've got all these deep mommy-daddy issues. You've got, something that happened in your childhood, and so we need to, put you on the couch for a while and fix all that. Well, here's the thing. I say, no, you're okay. Your problem is that you're just trying to do a job that you haven't been prepared for. And what I found in my experience, when I teach people what they need to know, I give them the skill sets, this proves out. And it's actually really cool. And you're going to find out why in just a moment. Now, as far as obstacles to you having a great trading experience, we've identified the first few issues. First of all, you started your trading career with probably what was very likely inadequate training. You started with, and the other thing is you also probably started trading with real money before you were truly and properly ready. Now, one of the big problems there is all the things that get established when you begin practicing trading that way. We're going to talk to that in a few minutes here too. Now, here's the thing. It's easy enough to blame yourself, to begin, thinking that there must be something wrong with you, when in fact, you really don't have any psychological issues, and at least nothing that really should be stopping you from being a successful trader. So let's keep moving on, because there's good news here. I mean, having this understanding, this solves a couple of really big problems. If the issue was some deep subconscious problem from your childhood, that kind of stuff may never get resolved. But if we say, no, that's not the problem, it's really only a matter of training, now this becomes a reachable matter. This is now achievable. And you can also forgive yourself. Since it wasn't a personal failure, but really just one of preparation, cool. That's excellent. So one of the first things to do, that you can do immediately, and this is huge, is just, to give yourself a quick check. If you're not making money and you are not trading with confidence, that is that is at an 8 or better on a scale of 10, and I tell this to everybody, then you really should stop trading with real money until you're there. And there are a whole slew of reasons. And if you think about it, just being conscious about the whole matter, if your confidence is low and if you're not making money, there just really is no reason to be trading with real money until you can get yourself in a better position, functionally and mentally. You're just not doing yourself any good service. You're only reinforcing the bad things. So this is one thing that you can do immediately that will provide you some great relief. Now, I want to share a shifted perspective of mine, and this kind of explains what I was just recommending to you here. A long time ago, I used to think that you made it as a trader when you got profitable, and a lot of people do. It's like, yeah, once I get profitable, I'm good, I'm set. But see, that's not true, because if you're still a bundle of nerves going to your trading every day, I mean, if you've been there, if you've been profitable for, I know a lot of people. They've been profitable 3, 6 months, sometimes some of them even a year, and they're still they're just a wreck going to their trading every day. Their confidence is still not there. If you're not there, it's just, here's the thing. What I thought was, when you got profitable, that's it. But if you're a bundle of nerves, really, the whole thing is what I thought was, you've made it when you can go to the markets and you're just cool with where you're at. You know that you're okay. That's when you've made it. That was like the big thing. No, you're not profitable. You've made it as a trader when you can go to the markets without any anxiety, knowing that you're okay. But see, really, this should be your starting point. I later came to the realization that this isn't the end goal, being able to go to the markets without anxiety, knowing that you're okay. If you're trading with real money and you really don't want to lose it, this should be your starting point, not your end goal. To not trade with real money until you're that ready. And this is one of the big, big things I hope you take away from this. Really, seriously, you need to get yourself where you're that ready for trading, where you're solid before you start trading with real money. If you don't want to lose it, if you don't want to, blow up your account, all that kind of stuff, this is something you really need to take away from this. Okay, so the question that I naturally get at this point is, hey, all right, so how long will that take? I can hear you already. So, I've had people say to me, well, Brian, I've already been trading for 5 years and I'm not there yet. So seriously, how long is it going to take? Well, as we stated early on, if you're operating on misconceptions or inaccurate beliefs, it's going to take a while. I've done some, been at it for over 12 years and they're still not profitable. But, okay, let's step back for a second. I got a question for you. What's a trading system? Most people, when I ask them that, they'll answer that it's their rules and indicators, and that's a logical thing. But that's not really true. Like I said, this is an inaccurate perception. It includes them, but it's more than that. Your trading system, it's what you do. This is important for you to understand. So your system is your step-by-step guide for finding, entering, managing, and exiting trades. Okay, so why does this matter? Well, if you want consistent profits from your trading, then you must have a clear understanding of your system and what it is, and you must be working with a good system. A lot of people, they don't understand what a system is. They think that, actually, we'll talk about it here in just a second. I got another question for you before we get to that. What is trading? Now, the answer that I usually get to that is that it's the buying and selling of securities. But really, is that true? From one perspective, it is, but here's a better understanding. Trading, the act of trading, it's a decision-making process. You're taking in information, you evaluate it against certain criteria, you make decisions based on that evaluation, and then you take action based on these decisions. This is a critical understanding. Trading is not buying and selling. It's a decision-making process. So let's keep moving. Here's the thing. That's a fatal misconception. And this is where a good trading strategy really can kill your account. Yes. You see, everybody wants a good system with which to trade. Over the last several decades, there have been a lot of good ideas for trading strategies. And quite a few of them have proven out to be sound strategies. But see, this is where a huge pitfall occurs. There's a huge difference between a good idea for a system and a good system. Think about it. There are a lot of good ideas for trading systems. Get in at the beginning of a trend and ride it till it ends. That's a good idea for a strategy. Scalping is a good idea. Using Fibonacci levels to determine support and resistance levels is a good idea. Gartley patterns, harmonic wave convergence, moving average crossovers, volume spread analysis. There are lots of them. The list goes on and on. Last time, I actually sat down and listed them out one time because I wanted to see how many there were. And I stopped counting at 40. There are a lot. Where most traders get off into a wreck is trying to trade with what really is only an idea for a system. It's not truly a system. Now, this isn't, through any fault of their own, mind you. They're very sincere in what they're doing, but here's where everyone gets hurt. Is really a good strategy does not equal a good system. If it did, buy low, sell high would be all you ever need, and that's just not the case. Obviously, a good system has to be repeatable. The challenge is understanding the essence of what a system is and being able to get from a good idea for a system to a workable, tradable system that can be executed successfully and consistently and has to work over time. It's in the details and how you bring everything together in a manner that works. The pitfall that is that for extremely few traders, having a process to take a good idea for a system and create a good system from it. Most traders wind up working with a partial or flawed or incomplete system with which to trade. And because it's flawed, they're unable to trade it well. They have a lot of trouble trading it, and then they struggle. But see, the thing is, even on some level, both consciously and subconsciously, they know something's wrong with it, but they don't know how to fix it. Okay. And then they run into discipline problems. But see, discipline problems come from two sources primarily. The first one is working with a subpar system. If you ever trade with a junk system or a poorly written system, you know what I'm talking about. If it has flaws, if it has holes, if it's confusing, if it's lacking the proper qualities, these are all invitations for your emotions to come in and mess with you and to make your decisions for you. And of course, as you know, your emotions present a huge variable, a huge inconsistency. The other discipline or source for a discipline problem is a doubt and lack of established knowing. Now, if you've ever gotten a system from somebody else where you're just going on their claims, maybe they've laid everything out for you. It can all be valid. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, it's still somebody else's. And so you're having to go on hope that it's all valid and, and faith that, yes, it is true what they're handing you. But you haven't established your own confidence with it. Or maybe, you've worked with it, a system, and it is a good system or a good strategy, but you've run into some problems with it. So now you're dealing with the doubt. And that, again, lack of established knowing that it's okay. That's where the discipline problems come from. The unknowns are the problem. A subpar system has too many unknowns. And really, the other thing about it is unknown or unrealistic expectations of a system, they just, create fear and anxiety. And fear makes discipline very difficult. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've experienced it yourself at some point. Now, so back to the question, how long does it take then to get one system in order and establish a high level of confidence in it? And here's, again, more good news. On average, it takes about 30 days, not years, not months. We're talking about weeks, days, and that's really cool. Now, just connecting the dots. Everybody understands this. Trading is not supposed to be gambling. It really isn't. That means that you know what you're doing and you know what the probabilities of your outcomes are. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know the probabilities of your outcomes, you're gambling because that means you're on chance. All of this means that you have to be dealing with knowns, known things. And again, this is where my background as an engineer, as quality engineer. I'm also a degree mechanical engineer. That's where this, my experience in these areas really has been so excellent as a trader. So I want to share with you right now, based on what we've been talking about, I want to share with you 4 simple steps that you can take immediately to realize rapid, massive improvement in your trading results. Let's jump into it. First one, like I said, stop trading with real money. The first thing to do to affect change, to establish a new normal, is to create a pattern interrupt, because it's almost impossible to create change if you're still practicing and reinforcing the old patterns. If you're, whatever you've been doing, that's what you've been practicing, and that's what you've been ingraining and training into and developing muscle memory with, mental muscle memory as well. So the best way to to initiate a new normal is to stop trading with real money. It's a huge pattern interrupt, and what will happen when you do this? First of all, you're just going to feel a lot of relief. It's going to be a little uncomfortable because yes, you're disrupting your routine that you've been living for however long. Yes, of course. But you're going to feel, very quickly, you're going to feel a massive amount of relief, first of all, from the stress that you've been experiencing. Secondly, if you've been losing money, cool. You get some relief from losing the money. That's excellent. You also get relief from the pressure that you've had on yourself. You can let go of all that for a while, and it's amazing because everybody I talk to, and I do it myself, even just explaining it to you here now, I feel my shoulders and my neck relax. It's like just physically you can feel the relief and that stress going away. It's just so cool. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is really get clear what you're doing. Most traders don't even consider that there are things that you can do to actually make it the easy and natural thing to be consistent. They think that discipline is the only resource to have available. Well, you've heard the wisdom to document your trading system, but see, here's where so many people run into trouble, because there is a right way to do this, but there are at least 100 wrong ways. And when it's done incorrectly, this actually creates problems and difficulties. And again, you've probably already experienced this yourself, where you buy or run across a trading system, created by somebody else, and it's just not easy to trade. Okay, so what do? Well, again, first thing is to define your trading process. Now, when I present this to people, sometimes it makes them mad, sometimes it hurts their feelings, but it's true. I don't know if you know who W. Deming is. He was the big quality guy that really turned Japan from a destroyed economy post World War II into an economic superpower. He was like the guy who did that. He went in there and he brought quality principles and practices to him. And this was one of his founding things is, yeah, if you can't describe what you're doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing. And sad as that sounds, there are a lot of traders, they're working with a system that's really not a system. I mean, they're more flying by the seat of their pants, going on hunches, and they have a highly variable decision-making process. And then they wonder why they're struggling with consistency, because they can't even describe it as a process. So that's the first thing we got to do. One of the neat things about this is the first thing you get is clarity. A lot of people, when I talk to them, they're struggling because when we talk about what they're doing with trading, they have this vague, cloudy, almost confused feeling. And when we get it documented, they have the clarity, and it's like, wow. Now, interestingly enough, what a lot of people say to me, and this really kind of caught me by surprise at first, but it's happened a lot, is people will tell me that after getting their process defined and documented, they have a feeling of lightness about themselves. And I got to thinking about it after a while, and it's like, well, yeah, this only makes sense because all that stress is gone, all that weight and confusion and the mental activity, short-circuiting and all that kind of stuff, it's gone, which is cool. Okay, so the next step in the process is to take your system, now that you have it defined and documented properly, and now that you want to establish some success with it. And here's where we attend to the catch-22 that gets so many traders off in a wreck. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Check this out. Most traders can't stick to their system long enough to establish the confidence they need to stick to it for any length of time. That's catch-22. It's it's kind of like when you get out of college, you need the resume to get a job, but you can't develop the resume without getting a job. So with traders, it's kind of the same thing. You need the confidence to stick to the system, but you can't stick to it without the confidence. Anyway, most people they just go through the whole cycle of, well, I can trade with it for a little bit, but it doesn't take long, and here I am over messing with and deviating from it. They just can't go long enough to get that good solid confidence. Develop the process so that we can test it out and prove it properly, where it really does confirm that the system's potential for profit, so that its true strengths and weaknesses, and you have a good, clear knowing of what your system can and can't do. And this is crucial. Now, understand, simple back testing by itself is not enough. A lot of people come to me and say, hey, Brian, I can get it, the back testing, that's important, back test and everything, but I can't get my regular day-to-day results to match up with my back test results. And there's a reason for that. This comes from an understanding, that you do need to test things, to prove them out, but you have to understand the testing process and how to go about it properly, and the various factors that go into proper testing. And again, this is from a quality and engineering background. It's been very helpful. I ran into this in the manufacturing world, and of course I've run into it in trading. It's the same thing. You have to understand the testing process and how to apply it, and also how the numbers are generated and where they come from. And so when to count on them, when to challenge them, and when to just flat out ignore them. Because not all test data is valid. Again, you have to have an in-depth understanding. You can't just say, oh, I'm making money, it shows I'm making money. That's not really valid enough. It's where you have that deep knowing about your system that you need. The whole reason for this is so that you can go into your trading day with realistic expectations. I mean, this is really absolutely critical. If you're thinking about your system, your system is never going to have, more than 2 or 3, losing trades in a row, and all of a sudden it hits 5 or 6. Oh wow, I need to pick it up here. You're going to have a problem with it. So, because it's going to throw you off in a wreck because your expectations are not being met, and then you go down that cycle of doubt, and you're going back and forth again. Okay, the outcome about this, when you know how to prove it out and you can do it, you get the feeling of peace with the markets. It's no longer a feeling, like the markets are just some antagonist on the other side of the screen that's out to ruin your day and take your money. Now you can go into the markets, with a sense of peace and a much lower stress level. Your fears and anxieties go away because now you've got a good solid handle on the reality of things with your trading system, and you get this mental shift from survival, to where you're trading comfortably and things get very matter of fact. That's really cool. So the fourth step in this is, now that we've established some success with you and your system, the last thing that we want to do is maximize your profits. And this, again, just further establishes your confidence in your system, because you're learning how to make changes in a calculated and business-like manner, and you're learning to adapt to changing marketplace conditions. And really the whole thing is knowing how to do it properly. You stay in this forward progress mode that's really just continuous improvement, and you're doing it in a very well-organized manner. So the outcome of this, you just get to go to the markets, with some eagerness to engage them, instead of being nervous and almost afraid that, am I just going to make money today or not? Now your mindset is expansion. You're like, cool, I always want to try this, and I want to try that. And now you get to go and do it, all this testing, but in a very, again, controlled and business-like manner. You're not playing games, just throwing money out there. You're doing it in a knowing manner. And it's cool because it brings back a genuine excitement about yourself and your future as a trader. So now what I've done with all this is I developed it. It's called a process called trading system mastery. And all I did was I took the problems that I found were common to so many of my clients with, the recurring themes, and I formulated it into a coaching program. And then I refined it over the course of 18 months, working with dozens of traders. The initial program cost $9.97 and took on average about 30 days for people to complete. When they came out of it, they were entirely new traders. It wasn't just, a new thing that they had, picked up, something else to be on a hard drive or on their shelf. They had been able to expand their mind and their understanding. They had new tools and techniques and good practices to put into place. And they just weren't the same person with a new thing. They'd actually developed into a new trader, into somebody, that did have a good solid mastery over what they're doing. That's really cool. And it was just in 30 days. Now, the typical results for people, again, the main thing is relief. Relief from, the stress and the anger, aggravation and the anxiety, and their confidence. Usually, people, when they're starting off, I'll ask them, where are you at right now? Rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. And most people are starting off right around 1, 2, or 3. And within a few weeks, hey, they're up in an 8 or 9 or 10, and it's really cool because just their physical appearance, their manner, their energy. Everybody would notice about them, and that was so cool. Instead of being all stressed, now they've got this calm and ease about them, and really just a renewed excitement toward their trading, which is excellent. So now I know we're running out of time, and I hope that you found this very helpful. That was my whole point, is to give you some different perspectives on things. Look at a different way of looking at your trading. Instead of, it's just a way to make money and something to do. Now you can look at it as a process and apply some process control mindset to it. Now, I've only been able to cover 20–30% of what you would really need to know to implement this, just because of our limited time. Normally it would take several hours, not a lot, but like I said, not weeks or months, really a matter of hours and days. But it's almost time for Q&A, and if you'd like to take this further, I do have a special offer for you. I'm going to tell you about it right now. So it'll only take a few minutes, and then we'll get on to Q&A, and I'll also tell you where to get the gift that I have for you. So that's where we're going to go next. If you have any questions, just go ahead and start typing them in. I'll get to them here in a minute, and I'm just trying to keep our schedule. That's all. So now I have an invitation for you. If you don't want to lose money unnecessarily, if you prefer low stress and predictable returns, if you want to trade like a pro and get paid like a pro, if you don't want to wait forever to get there, well, then the Trading System Mastery training is for you. It's a home study course and live coaching program, again, that I developed, and it's the exact process that we went through, but of course, much more in depth and in very user-friendly detail. And here, here's what's in it. You get the in-depth how-to, and you get everything in less than 5 hours just watching the videos. Not doing everything, but you can have a look at everything in less than 5 hours. Obviously, you're not going to be changed by watching the video. It's watching the video and applying what you learn. Okay, so module 1 is where we take a look at the proper way, where you do it with a good understanding, the proper way to define and document your trading process so that it is highly repeatable. We cover how to structure your system, how to word it, what to include, what to leave out, all kinds of all the different factors that really make for a good system that's going to serve you well and help you make good money, reliably over time. This works, and it's critical, and it's regardless of, it works regardless of how you trade, or what you trade. It doesn't matter. it applies because this is a decision-making process, so it's applicable. You don't have to switch systems. You can use what you've got if you want to. Now, this includes a lot of the key insights and tricks from my trade, tricks of the trade from my quality years. And I was a good quality manager. I took my plant from last place in the rankings to first place within 2 years within the company and with our customers. I do know the quality part of it. It was a natural fit for me, and I want to share this stuff with you and how to apply it to your trading because it is so effective and it will make your life so much better and easier. Module 2, we eliminate all the doubt with your system, with you trading it and your ability to make money with it by establishing success, replacing that old doubt with rock solid, unshakable confidence that makes discipline and sticking to your system easy and the natural thing to do. The third module is where we maximize your system's profitability and move you into expansion, always moving you forward, by having a way to do it in an organized, calculated, and business-like manner so that you know you're moving forward and you know that everything you're doing is working for you and not against you. Now, you might be thinking, hey, Brian, that's cool. I understand there's, the hard side of trading is a process and all that kind of stuff, but I've still got some, plain psychological stuff to deal with. And I get that. That's why as a bonus, I'm including the Trader's Guide to Emotional Management, which really is, emotional intelligence for traders. And it deals with over 50 specific mistakes that traders make. It gives you specific actions and tools that you can apply to address those purely psychological issues and how they relate to your trading. So as far as the psychological side of things, we're addressing that here. Second bonus is Trading Performance Analyzer, which is really a great tool for doing the analysis, for tracking your trades, keeping a rolling measurement, your metrics on your trading, and doing it all in a very easily and mentally manageable manner, not overwhelming pages and pages and pages of numbers. This is really very simple, very meaningful, and very useful for you. The other thing, self-sabotage is a huge one. I've heard some people say, hey, Brian, I get all this stuff, but I just can't seem to stop sabotaging myself. So the third bonus is so that you can understand where self-sabotage comes from. Is this video that I made. And it really, it's just very helpful so you have an understanding of it, and then you can properly address it by raising your awareness to it. Now you also may be saying, hey, Brian, this is cool, but I don't want to buy any other systems. I want to be able to create my own. I'm just not sure what I need to, have going into it. In this video, it will cover the 10 essential components of a high probability winning trading system. Everything that you need to have, just a really good, well-structured trading system and trading process. The fifth bonus, you may be saying, well, okay, everything, I get all the rest of this. That's really cool. But even once I get this in place, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing in general, just getting my whole trading business organized. Well, that's why I'm including it, it's the fifth bonus. It's the first 4 lessons from the 6-month program that focuses on your trading as a business called Trading Pick Club. And you get the first 4 lessons. And these really are the foundation exercises for your trading business. It's a 6-month program. You get the first month for free, and you can continue it if you like. You come out of it with a business plan and the whole 9 yards, and it really is, the high level as a business owner kind of program. And you can continue if you want, if you like it. And if you don't, that's fine. You can cancel. If you want to continue with it, it's just $99 a month. But it really, these two kind of cover both of your primary roles, you as the trader and you as the owner and manager of your trading business. So again, this is just to help you get your trading business organized. They're operating at different levels. These two programs that complement each other really well. Anyway, got another extra bonus for action takers. Just to wrap this up, I've got just a couple more minutes left. Really, the first 20 to enroll, you get an action takers reward of $100 discount. Just use the coupon code UNSTUCK. Now, understand something. If you do want to sign up for this, we're not getting married. All you need to do is take a look. If it's not a good fit, just say so and get a refund. And I do back everything I do, with a 60-day peace of mind guarantee. I've been doing this for 13 years. I back what I do, but then you understand this is not a lifetime commitment. You'll know within an hour. You can get a quick look at the program. You can find out within an hour. So today you can have a look and, hey, you're in and out. And the thing is, you want your trading to produce. You want consistency. You're doing this for more than you. So really, this is an easy decision. Get that money in your account financially, time-wise. It's an easy decision. This is going to do good things for you. Now, how to get started. If you want to work with me one-on-one, my fee is, is $19.97, and you apply via email. I have a selection process on who I work with, so just email me if you want the personal coaching through this training. If you want to get started with a home study program, it's just $497, which saves you a bunch. Actually, it's not 50%, it's $497. It's 75%. Anyway, just go to insideouttrading.com, get unstuck. And that's where you need to go and get started with this. But seriously, don't leave your trading to chance, or put all your money out there, on just clever tricks and trying to focus on discipline. This is a proven approach and methodology that's been an absolute game changer for hundreds of other industries. and I'm just helping you, apply it to your trading. And that's the really cool thing about it is, like I said, I didn't invent quality assurance, but I've had the experience outside of trading with quality assurance to be able, but the experience as a trader to bring the two of them together so that you can take advantage of this. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, hey, should I do this? Should I not do it? Is it for me? Is it not for me? I don't know if I can. Hey, I want to talk to that voice in your head for a moment. Let me be the bigger voice. You're here now because you want to provide more for those you care about. You're doing this for more than just yourself. You want to be a successful trader, and now it's time for you to step up and own it. If you have any doubt, that means you're considering it right now. And just that fact, means yeah, this probably is for you. So, I want you to, if you have any doubt, silence that, that little voice in your bigger place, and just go ahead and get started with it. Again, this is really inexpensive if you think about it in the long term, or even a short term. Like I said, if you're not making money, you have the opportunity cost. This is how to get things going, get it right, and do it in a knowing manner. So I want to thank you for attending. Here's your gift. Again, the Trading System Profit Potential Calculator. To collect this, just go to insideouttrading.com/unstuck-gift, and it'll take you right to it.